5 million Americans get below poverty level checks. 70 million Americans rely on Social Security. For 40% of all Americans, this is the only pension benefit that they'll have. And we have done nothing? That is shameful.
That was Representative Larson calling for increased Social Security benefits for all in the latest Social Security hearing. I'm going to play that full video clip. This is what Larson wants. He wants increased benefits across the board. He wants increased cost of living adjustment, so higher COLAs, increased benefits to boost lower income seniors, 5% additional increase for certain seniors. Like, he wants so much higher benefits for Social Security recipients. He's pushing for that. I'm going to let you know what he says there. Also, in terms of important news, we have this Social Security change coming in July. Agency begins taking back 50% of overpayments. This is huge news. If you have been overpaid, or if you're not sure if you're overpaid, you're going to want to know this new information right here, which I'll give you the latest details on. I'll give you some other important updates as well. Before I dive into the main content, if you appreciate the Social Security updates, hit the like button and subscribe to the channel for more Social Security updates. So yeah, we're going to get into this, the change that is now effect in July, where the agency begins taking back 50% of overpayments, which is huge. I'm going to let you know those details, but first, let's get into Representative Larson, what he wants for Social Security change. Very passionate, a little bit of a debate here. Take a listen.
I thank the chairman, and I certainly welcome the commissioner, and I especially thank Commissioner for taking the time to meet with myself and Mr. Neal beforehand. As we discussed in a meeting in my office, again, which I thank you for the courtesy, and noting that you're from a family of 15 and I'm from a family of 8, I know that there's compassion that exists in that heart of yours for the nation's #1 anti-poverty program for the elderly and the #1 anti-poverty program for children till the child tax cut becomes permanent. Democrats have a plan. We've had one for some time. Our focus is twofold. There's an immediate urgency as it deals with DOGE and their access to the public's personal data, their medical data, their financial data, the concerns about their family. We discussed this when you came to my office. Our concerns remain deep and abiding. And as I said, Democrats have a plan. Because of the Supreme Court decision, it looks like legislation is required. Though the commissioner could deny them access to these, as Peter Finley Dunn would say, trust everyone, but cut the cards, and legislation is needed so that we can make sure that we protect people's personal data and information that is so vital and important to them. Our overarching plan is to recognize, and we discussed this, that Social Security hasn't been enhanced in over 50 years. Pretty astounding when you think of it, but imagine Richard Nixon was President of the United States the last time there was an overall enhancement of Social Security. And when you couple that with unqualified, unvetted, unapproved 24-year-old Doges who have unfettered access to people's records at Social Security, it creates an alarm. When I do district hearings or travel around the country, people are outraged by that. That's why we have a bill to stop it. We hope to get a hearing on it, Mr. Chairman, and a vote. And of course, I will ask for your support, Commissioner. I also think that it's become blatantly obvious to the American people that we are in the midst of and appearing right before our eyes, the privatization of Social Security. We have put forward a plan. The plan is very specific and direct. We see no plan. We've had no hearing from our colleagues on the other side. 5 million Americans get below poverty level checks. 70 million Americans rely on Social Security. For 40% of all Americans, this is the only thing, the only pension benefit that they'll have. And we have done nothing? That is shameful. And I think everybody, as the chairman pointed out on this dais, agrees with that. And action needs to be taken. A vote needs to be taken. And most importantly, the constituents that were sworn to serve need relief. This is not the first time that there's been an attempt to privatize Social Security. It was done by Reagan, Bush Sr., Bush Jr., and now Trump. And when you're closing regional offices, when you're shutting down phone services, this is a prelude to what's happening to dismantle Social Security from within. Take away from the brand of an agency that operates the largest insurance program with under 1% administrative costs and serves more than 70 million Americans.
What are your thoughts there on Representative Larson? So he's probably the only person who's fighting for Social Security out of all the Congress members. I don't see anyone else pushing for Social Security as much as Representative Larson. Let me know your thoughts there. All right, let's get into this. So Social Security change coming in July, agency taking back 50% of overpayments. So looks like some Americans will start getting smaller Social Security payments in July. So basically, this is from overpayments. So Social Security paid out nearly $72 billion in improper payments, most of which were overpayments during 2015 to 2022. Now, whose fault is that? That is Social Security's fault. It shouldn't be the fault of the people who receive this money, especially if they're not notified that they're overpaid. But regardless, what are the Social Security payment changes coming in July? So some beneficiaries who have been overpaid could have their monthly Social Security benefits cut in half beginning in late July. So basically in April, the SSA announced it would begin withholding 50% of benefit payments to overpaid recipients. That's partial retreat from the SSA's initial announcement in March to withhold all of a recipient's benefit until overpayment. So basically, before the agency said they were going to withhold 10%, then it went to 100%, and now I guess the in-between is 50%. Now what Martin O'Malley, the previous Social Security Commissioner, said, innocent people can be badly hurt. The SSA tried to reclaim overpayments from about 2 million people in the fiscal year that ended 2023. I guess they were unsuccessful with that. But if Social Security overpaid you, how do you pay it back? So under its new policy, the SSA said it would begin issuing overpayment notices on April 25th, 2025, and would start withholding 50% of the recipient's benefits after about 90 days, which is approximately July 24th, the earliest, until the overpayment is repaid. So if you did get overpaid, you should have received a letter. If you haven't received that letter and you see your check cut in half starting July 24th, maybe fully in August if your birthday's in the beginning of the month, that's probably because you're getting overpaid. And if it does happen to you, I would try to contact the SSA, see how much you're overpaid and how long those 50% cuts will happen. That's pretty much all you could do. I don't think there's anything else you could do about it. So you could fill out a form on the SSA website as well. But anyways, that is all the news that I have for you today to hopefully cheer you up a bit. Here's my daughter Belle's tip of the day.
Hi, my name is Bill and this is the tip of the day. Do you know what you should always know to do? Even though if you can't go travel or anything, you could always try to find something they could do in the area that you're at, or maybe you could probably go visit another state if you like have a car or so, and you could go to different places, but it doesn't always have to be traveling to different like countries and stuff. But oh my god. But whatever makes you happy, just do it. Bye.
If you haven't heard the latest about the $6,000 senior bonus, as well as the $1,000 Trump account, pretty much stimulus checks from this big, beautiful bill in the form of $1,000 free money, you're going to want to click this video over here, and I'll give you the latest details on that. So click that video now, and I'll see you in that video. Take care, be safe. Thank you for watching.